the Big Vito brand. This is Thug Wives. I am one of your hosts, Noelle Harlow LoGrasso. Over here is usually a tall Italian bald man, but he's running a little late. So let's go over to our Philly studio with South Philly Neen and Danny J. How are you guys doing tonight? Mr. Donnie.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on? Greetings.
What is going on there? What is the weather in Philadelphia?
It's chilly, but I like it. I'm not complaining.
It's like 60s. Taking the 60s.
I love 60s. I love fall. I'm good to go, man.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. It was like 83 here today, which wasn't too bad. I like
that's what I like.
Cold, so I don't go like this all the time.
Yeah, I don't like it cold because the older you get, the more I can't stand the cold. So
yeah, it works on you. Vito hates the cold because he's 105. Rev is in the chat with us. Rev, welcome to the show. We got other people jumping on right now. I see we have some viewers in here. I want to thank everybody. This is our favorite Big Vito brand show of the week. Big Josh is here. Big Josh, how are you? He stopped by.
Hey.
What's going on, guys?
We're going to say a prayer for Big Josh's dad. He's not doing so good, so we're going to say a prayer for him this week and send some good feelings and thoughts over to the Big Josh family. We made our return to Facebook Live last night, Facebook Watch, and we were literally just floored of how many people came on to support us, give us a shout out. We had people on the show last night. We had 5,300 plus people on with us last night.
That's insane. I love it.
I was there.
It was, yeah, Danny was there. Neen was
I
there.
wasn't there, brother.
I turned it off during the. I turned it on during the commercials.
Ah.
I was watching Black Lightning, not Black and White People. As your
Gunner, get out of my clothes.
My husband's like, Dan's watching Black and White People. I'm like, what is Black and White People?
Oh, God.
I was watching my Black Lightning, and then I would turn you guys back on during the commercials.
That's awesome. Hey, listen, we're a good commercial stop. But 5,000 people were watching me and Vito pick on each other. We had a lot of great topics to talk about. And, we're just kind of like, you know, we're going to wing it. Foxy's not here tonight. She is at a concert with Damien. Wedding anniversaries next week. Wednesday, we won't have Thug Wives because my bitch ass is going trick-or-treating with my Disney friends.
Well, we'll be trick-or-treating with the girls anyway, so.
Didn't we say, are we not going to do the show at all, or are we going to do it on a different way?
We're going to just do it another day of the week.
Okay. Yeah, let us know. Gotta let everybody know, so this way they know when to tune in.
Yeah, we're going to let everybody know. I think it's going to be Thursday, Thug Wives, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Thursday. Doc, thank you. I always love to look lovely, and today I look especially lovely with my Sleeping Beauty t-shirt on.
Oh, she's my favorite.
You love her? Look at that shirt, baby.
Look at that shirt.
Woo! I thought it showed out.
Look at my shirt. Can you see what my shirt says?
Yes, I love it. I got like my princess hair. This is my Belle hair from Beauty and the Beast. I don't know if you could tell.
Yeah, I can
very
tell.
cute.
Yeah,
You need a book.
Oh shit! I don't have a book. I usually have some kind of and it's not. I got a new desk, and now my book's gone. I can't find my book. How about this?
There you go. That works.
How about the New Age book?
A New Age book.
There you go.
And I got my
Kindle on that shit.
I got my little.
She was the running theme this week, huh? We kept running into her this week.
All week long, girl.
Oh, girl. That is the best thing ever.
If you guys haven't seen, go over to me and Neen's Twitter. And it's Reality T Speller. Neen is a South Philly Neen. Go check out the video of the Little Mermaid talking to her haters because you know what? I don't think of people as haters, and anybody that watches the show, you guys are our friends. You follow us, you're our friends. But haters, they're the fans. They're the ones that like look at your pictures, or they're scooping on your Twitter, or they're on your Facebook, or they're on your Instagram. Thank you for being a fan.
Pardon me 1 second. I'm going to take care of medical stuff. I'll be right back.
He has a medical device.
I have a medical device.
There he goes. It's Mr. Dan.
Oh, look. And it's just me and you.
It's me and you.
Me and you, baby.
The haters can't hate on.
I wish if I could sing, I would sing along.
Oh my God!
But I can't sing. So, but we are now joined by Guns.
Oh, the Guns. I just had to yell at Bruiser because he was being loud during my show. We recorded Spilling the Reality.
Yeah, as soon as Dan gets up, he comes in.
He's the Guns. Let me ask you a question, Neen. On my last show, Spilling the Reality, we have a new segment. We call it Weird News because reality is a very strange place along with reality television. So we have a Weird News segment on the show. And in Toronto, because Canada's a strange place, in Toronto, a man at the Ripley's Aquarium, believe it or not, the Ripley's Aquarium, he jumped into the tank of sharks naked, took his clothes off, and jumped into the tank of sharks naked and swam around naked with the sharks during a live jazz event. The aquarium made sure everybody knows that it was a cash bar. It wasn't an open bar. Nobody was injured. The sharks weren't hurt. The man wasn't hurt. He was strong, was swimming around there with the fishes.
Oh, my God.
And they didn't catch him. Now, here's my question. How do you get away when you are drunk, naked, dripping wet, and getting out of the shark tank? Can you answer that question? I'm still trying to figure it out, and it's been like 20 minutes since I talked about it.
I don't know. You sliding around on your wet ass? I mean, I don't know. How else are you going to get away?
Slide out of the aquarium?
What's the question?
Too late.
In Toronto, a man jumped into the shark tank naked and swam with the sharks. The police can't find him. He got away. He's not dead. The sharks didn't eat him. He got away naked from the aquarium in Canada, where it is quite frigid. How did they not find him?
How did they not find him?
Maybe he turned into a shark.
Well,
like on Tiger Sharks.
Oh yeah, maybe he's a tiger shark.
They need to borrow the cops from our PD, man. They'll find your ass.
Well, I live in Florida, so weird.
Hell, Gunner.
My question again now is the second portion of the question. Have you ever had to escape somewhere naked before? And if so, were you successful? How did you pull it off?
Oh,
no.
I had to escape somewhere half naked.
Story, please.
I was, 16?
Oh, an underage nudie story.
Yes, with my high school boyfriend. And we used to try to find random places to go to have sex in the car. And he had us somewhere where we should not have been. Like some kind of like utility company grounds or something.
I thought Dan was your one and only.
No. I said I had one before him.
One before.
Okay,
but
so
yeah.
Not a utility company.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like we jumped fences or anything. Like it was an open parking lot, but it was after hours.
There were no street sharks? No sharks there?
No. And so we're doing our thing, man, and fucking all of a sudden we see these bright lights and this truck just comes like plowing at us.
Nice.
I'm like, holy shit. The guys start yelling. He's like, what are you guys doing? I'm like, oh my God. So like I'm trying to get dressed. He's like driving the car with his pants off. Oh yeah, that was a good time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does Ange know the story? Because she does now.
What's that?
Does Big Ange know the story? Because she does now.
Nah, she don't know. She would probably be like, you're such a fucking asshole.
Here, look at the picture made from last week. No, 35
Shut
years
up.
ago.
Yeah, she'd be like, what are you, some kind of fucking asshole? I can't believe you.
I sent her more pictures of the middle finger today. It was fantastic.
Nice.
She loves that shit.
She loves it. It was like one of those things where it's that picture where the person's like this and it's like right in their face.
Nice.
Yeah, she loves that stuff. I've never been naked and ran anywhere.
Yeah, you never ran with your third leg?
No. Got it caught in a drawer once. That was horrible.
Got your dick caught in a drawer once? I almost said dwarf. You got your dick caught in a
dwarf. I got my dick caught in a dwarf. You got to watch them little fuckers.
little
Oh, look who decided to join the party. Hi.
I told everybody that I got a phone call and my show ran over, so that's why you're late.
Now, what happened was at my when I lived at my parents' house, they had a dresser that was a drawer. The drawers were flush, so they had like a little indent where you could put your fingers in to pull the drawer out, but they were flush. They weren't like, there wasn't like a lip. So I took the towel off and I grabbed underwear and I shut the door and was getting ready to move at the same time, and I caught some of the foreskin.
Okay, let me catch you up on what you missed. Neen was naked at the utility company. Dan shut his dick in a dwarf, and there was a guy swimming.
Not a dwarf, a drawer.
Sorry.
They're giving people the wrong impression.
Yeah.
No offense to any dwarfs out there. You can't have my penis.
Try this out. Your kid's gonna call Mr. Danny at
Mr. Danny.
have you ever had to run out of anywhere naked? And
I'm sure he has. Look at her. Look at his face.
Are you kidding me?
But I know you're naked all the time.
You know that answer. You know that answer is yes. Why did you even ask the question? The motherfucker is hardly ever dressed.
It's only fair. Vito, did you ever have to run away from anywhere naked?
Yes, Mary Ellen's cutlets because she wanted me to stay the night.
Oh God, here we go.
That poor girl. She has no clue.
What is the likelihood that he's wearing pants right now?
Oh, he has pants on.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You have pants.
What? On our do show shit or just wait for the gym.
I hate you.
Hey, have you been to the gym, Neen? Neen, have you gone back to the gym to work out?
No, I don't have time for that shit, man.
I know Mr. Danny is always looking buff. His hair's always good, looking good. I know Mr. Danny.
Just cut it tonight, actually.
Dan cuts his own hair, as we
I know.
discussed
He
on the
gets
show.
ready because he's professional.
He's prepared. He trims up.
He's falling apart.
I'm actually at my wrestling weight because ever since I got on this pump, I gained like 15 to 20, no, about 15, no, about 20 pounds.
You look like Dan, because you were looking sick for a little bit when you had all that stuff.
That was ideal weight. But I was at 185. I'm at the last I checked, I was at 203. So I'm just at that cruiserweight level. This is wrestling. This is my wrestling weight that I achieved.
There it is.
And
he's at 203, but he's on that new.
I'm on this guy right here. I don't know if you can see it. See this thing right here?
Is it? Have you added water weight, or has it been just like your whole body's just blown?
It's insulin.
It's insulin.
It's insulin. Yeah. And my gut. And here's what I know. It's my gut. I think the metabolism stopped altogether because my gut has increased substantially, and my ass did not increase substantially. So now, in the first time in my life, I have that issue where my ass crack comes out. I never had that problem.
The king of the hill, Hank Hill.
And I'm constantly pulling my pants up now because they won't go over my gut. And I bought a pair of sweatpants for UPS, and they're just a tad bit too long because I got them at Foreman Mills. You can never tell what you get over there.
Yeah.
So now I wear them. I have to wear them above my navel so that they don't drag underneath my boots. And
he said boobs.
Yeah, boobs with dwarfs. And then I had to tie the thing real tight. So then I get an impression of right above my navel. And I'm like trying not to like rip my sensor off for my diabetes and all this other shit with my pants up to here like Ed Grimley. It's horrible. I hate getting old.
You're a mess. You turned into Hank Hill, the typical American trucker look right now.
I did. But you know what? I got UPS muscles, and because I throw boxes of
ratings. Dan, show it for ratings.
Right there, ratings. That's ratings 1, and this is Rotten Tomatoes right there.
Rotten Tomatoes. And you're sitting next to Rotten Apples, that's for sure.
Vito.
Yeah, it's nice.
Vito, you're a mess.
Why am I a mess?
I have things I want to discuss this evening.
I was securing business deals in the bedroom while you were yelling and screaming out here.
I was not yelling and screaming. I was talking about weird news. I'm recording shows. Do you have any major news? Do we have any deals? Like, we're working on a few deals. Do we have anything we can announce yet?
Nothing we can. It's in the works, and something looks almost, I'd say, 90% sure that we're going to land it.
Oh, yeah? Give me 5 on that one. All right. Mega Powers it.
The dream team over there.
Oh, yeah.
So it looks good, and hopefully we'll be able to announce it in a day. We'll probably be the first podcast team to have this situation going on.
Oh.
And then everybody's going to copy and try to do the same thing. So,
Yeah.
Oh, you mean there's going to be copycats?
My goodness.
You mean that there isn't already?
Oh.
Exposed.
Exposed.
So,
We got to find a way to bring that back.
Being friends and we were.
hey, Dan, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
How did your Ricky Santana interview go?
Wiki.
He is such a gentleman. The interview went phenomenal. It's about an hour and 12 minutes or so. He did it from work, so I didn't want to keep him too long, but he literally could have talked about wrestling all day. Talked a lot of stories about the business. Talked about a lot of people. Your name came up in there as well. Such a gentleman, and it wasn't like, oh, he's just some has-been that I came across. I used to watch it, you know what I mean? And when I was a kid, and to see him and see his stuff, and he was a mid-carder, but I liked him. I enjoyed his work. He worked with Kendall Windham a lot, Italian Stallion. He worked with a lot.
Mid-carders are the ones that build the card up. They're the workhorses.
Well, they're the ones who watching the entire show.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Him and I shared a room in Puerto Rico, and we were roommates for 3 years.
Oh, get out. He's such a nice guy. He was at work when he did the interview, which was very gracious. He just locked his door and did the interview, which was really cool. And, I've been talking to Ricky for about 3 years. Right. But it was just a matter of getting things together with the show and starting, and we finally got it together, and he got back to me afterward. He goes, man, I loved doing it. You guys, I mean, it's really, he goes, if we're not being funny, it really is a cool show. It's called That Way Cool Wrestling Show. He said, it really is a cool show. He goes, I appreciate that you guys were like real about the business and not like just fans and that type of thing. And he's going to come on and do other shows. I had some big announcements I put out today for
Bobcat coming on.
as well on the same show. We're getting Gorgeous George as well.
Oh, good. I haven't done that in a long time.
So Gorgeous George and Bobcat are going to come on December 8th.
Yeah, Dan's been yucking it up with Bobcat for a long time.
I know her a long time, since the 90s.
We have a chat question, and I touched on a little bit on Spilling the Reality show, but Tom and the doc have a question here about, have you guys heard about the t-shirt company that's commercializing Roman Reigns having cancer? Yes, that is disgusting.
You brought that up today, didn't you, on Facebook?
Yeah, I brought it up. It's all over the place. One of the websites covered it. I noticed it was a bad Photoshop job right away, and then I saw those little links that they have underneath on all this, and I'm like, that's not right. And I looked it up, and when I did, one website had brought it up, and I can't remember the name of the website, but it is over on my Facebook. I know you shared it. That's disgusting.
You know what? In a related story, and I don't know the validity of it, but they said Samu Anoa'i has stage 4 cancer.
I saw that.
That's true.
He just was on. I was watching it literally today. He and his son Lance were wrestling in Major League Wrestling on a taping in New York. And he looks older, obviously. I taped him back in the 90s with Tommy Fierro. Yeah. When he and Alpha did like a little combination show in Wildwood, New Jersey. We did the entire summer. Every Thursday we were down there. and I did shows with him. And Samu was one of those people who I was in the ring during a cage match with guys like Derek Domino and
I remember that.
and J.R. Ryder and I was L.A. Smooth and Samu, Alpha Jr., you know.
I was having a fucking panic attack.
And Samu was my guide. And like he would be like punching, he'd be like, right. And I'd go to the right and he would throw somebody to my left. Then he'd be like left, and then he'd be like duck, and then he'd be like jump. And we went through the whole match, and then I go to the back, and everybody was ribbing me because they were like, oh my God, you're going to get your ass kicked. You're going to get killed in there, blah, blah, blah. Then when I went back, he gave me a big hug, and everybody started laughing and blah, blah, blah. But it was a fun time. But he was a cool dude. And all the Anoyes, they were such nice people. And
we're friends with a lot of those guys. Toa and all those guys are friends, and it's sad that the reason that Simo had to come out with this news is because of the T-shirt thing. He sells shirts, and he has forever that says "Annoy Strong" on them, and he has them in like the different cancer colors. And because the shirt thing went on, people went after him, saying you are basically profiting off of your cousin's cancer issue, which is not the case. He sold them for years, but he had to come out and go, look, I have cancer. That I sell these shirts because I'm a cancer patient and we support this and I support my cousin. It's disgusting that he even had to make his, that's his choice whether he wants to make his fight public or not. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he didn't get to make that choice. They put him on the spot. What do you think, Vito? You've known all the Samoans forever.
I just think that people who are fans, they look at the outside and they look at the persona and they know that people actually have real lives outside of wrestling. And what they do with their private time and how they handle their own private life is none of anybody's business. But when people put pressure on you and they gotta know and they harp on you and they make accusations, and then when you gotta say, hey, this is how my life is. Wrestling is fake. This is my real life. This is how things are.
Yeah.
Point. Big Vito LoGrassos. Wrestler, former WWE superstar, gets married, wife gets sick, walk away from wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, what do? Do you go and wrestle, add wrestling stuff, or do you take care of your wife? Why don't you still wrestle? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Other things then happen afterwards. But initially, because my wife got sick, but it's none of nobody's business. Everybody still asks me today, and I still get wrestling bookings to go back to wrestling.
But it's even further than that, too, with you, is that when we got married, and you guys know this because you're our personal friends outside of wrestling and outside of podcasting, but we got married, and the morning after our wedding, before we saw our wedding pictures, they were posted on wrestling websites. And the thing was, oh, we can report that Vito wore a tuxedo and not a dress. No, this isn't funny. This is our marriage. And we waited 5 years to get married. And you guys know you were a part of all of our ups and downs and our struggles and our friends, our entire relationship.
Maybe I should have waited 6 or 7 till things died down a little.
I can't stand him sometimes. I really can't.
You guys know our ups and downs, everything. And then people to make a joke out of our wedding. Like, that's not cool. People to make stroke jokes. We've had people send us like stroke jokes because
you know what though, and here's the sad thing about it though. When you're in the spotlight in any fashion, way, or form, be it low key, mid key, or high, it comes with it. And although on a personal level, when we know you, we would get offended by stroke jokes or get offended by, oh, he wore a tuxedo instead of a dress, stuff like that. Unfortunately, to the general public, like he said, who don't look past the persona and understand that as a wrestling fan, I always go back to David Arquette in the movie
Ready to Rumble.
Ready to Rumble. He's like, wrestling's not fake. You know, there are people like that, unfortunately, and you kind of like can only take it and maybe laugh at it. In a sense, I don't know that you can sit there and say, hey, Joe Schmo fan, don't talk about me like that, because you know what? They're not going to consider it. They're really not. And it's, as like, I don't consider myself a mark because I've been in the business for a long time and behind the scenes and then eventually wrestling and stuff like that. But like when I was watching that one interview with Ronnie Garvin, and they asked him about, hey, how did you like, what was it like when you were able to become the NWA champion? And I'm paraphrasing, but he basically said, I showed up to work, they gave me a belt. 30 days later, they asked for the belt back. That's it. You know, that's the job. And I was like, my mouth dropped like a mark. And I'm like, you just killed my entire fucking 25 years as a kid. You know what I mean? But like, then I'm like, you know what? He's right though. It's the job, you know? So you can't, because I get in arguments on my wrestling show. I get in arguments with Mark Lindsay about certain things. And Ronnie Garvin always comes up because I'm a big fan of Ronnie Garvin. And they say I'm in the trees, like stalking them with telescopic lenses and stuff like that.
Oh, you mean like Charles and Dolph Ziggler?
Yeah. But like the thing was that, you know, to me, I was like, that's Ronnie Garvin. And everybody's like, oh, well, he was just a transitional champion. He's this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, you know what? He did a job just like Rocky King did a job, just like the Italian Stallion did a job, just like Hulk Hogan did a job. Okay? Where they take that as individuals is a different story, but the job is the job at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So
it's the same thing. I try to tell people it's like getting up and going to work in the morning. It's just a different type of job. We have a question in the chat for you.
It says, "Oh, there are already some Vito movies in the plans." Yes, there are some upcoming new movies for me. I'm just waiting for the dates and times so I can go film them.
The Church 2 is going to start filming soon. We hear.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
The first one.
Vito Goes to Buffet, I heard, is a up and coming.
Vito Goes to Buffet.
Did you guys get to watch The Church yet?
We didn't get to see it yet.
Okay.
Because it's down 69th Street. I ain't playing with them down here.
Oh, I thought I sent you a screen copy. I didn't.
Oh, you did? Wait a minute. Yes, you did.
You did. And she forgot about it, so I haven't watched anything.
Wait a minute.
I watched The Church because me and Russo saw it, okay? And the big thing is at what part of the movie Vito goes to church to fight somebody with tools. And he's going and he's looking for these tools. And watching the movie texted me, what the hell is with the tools? So now it's become a thing. The Peter Pans watched the movie and they were like, why is Vito looking for tools? So like everybody that watches the movie wants to talk about Vito and these tools. So Vince and I came up with a title for the sequel. It's The Church 2, The Home Depot's Revenge, The Search for More Tools.
Oh my God, stop it.
That's the name of The Church 2.
You know what? Let's bring up real quick.
Wait a minute.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking to see for the thing. All right, send it to me again.
I will send it to you again.
I don't know if it's in my text messages or where it is.
Let's go back a few years and let's go to Vito's 50th birthday. And just to explain,
it wasn't the 50th.
Yeah,
no, it wasn't his 50th.
What was it?
49, 48. 48.
No.
Who the fuck has a party like that for a 48th
It was
birthday?
when he finally came back.
It was when he moved back home and went
whatever. He was just older than me. What happened was
whatever. He was older than me. So.
What happened was, just to give everybody an explanation, we had this big shing-a-ling da-da, right? And
it was huge.
It was huge. And then I was there. I DJ'd it and blah, blah, blah. And a part of this party was a good old-fashioned comedy roast, which they said, you know, this will be a fun thing. You know, roasts were real big on Comedy Central at the time. So let's do a roast of Big V. Okay, so everybody got out their pieces of paper and their pens, and they started writing away. We're going to roast Vito. Okay, boom, boom, boom. He's got a film coming out. He had a film coming out then, too. Boom, you know, yeah. So I don't know about anybody else, but I know what a roast is because I'm in comedy. So I did a roast, and I helped Neen with my roast. I went through and I gave her some pointers and I wrote a couple jokes and blah blah blah. And we're like, all right, let's do this roast. And I'm all proud about what I got going on because I know my shit's funny and, stuff like that. And, people get up, and I'm not going to mention names because they may watch this show. I don't know what the fuck they do. And it was one person puckering up after another. And instead of a roast, it was like almost like we were at his funeral and people were saying loving things about him at the wake.
And it rhymed. Everybody's rhymed.
Everybody rhymed. That's right. Everybody was trying to rap. I guess it was a rapping white group.
Poetry like the genius. They were out of
and one was getting sappier after the other. And then Neen goes up and, she's got some of my jokes in there. So they a little dig here, a little dig there. She rhymed too, actually. You got her to rhyme too.
I wrote a poem.
And then I go up and because I'm like the master of ceremony because I'm DJing the fucking thing, right? And I do my jokes. And my jokes were fucking funny. I don't give a shit what anybody said. But people were looking at me. And folks, understand when I tell you, look in my eyes. They were funny. Nobody in the room laughed except for Christine and Noelle. They're cracking up laughing. Everybody else is like this.
Like, I can't believe he just said that.
Oh, Vito's going to be mad.
Yeah, that's what they were like. And like to give you an idea of a joke, I said Gunnar, get off my phone. One of the jokes was the movie that was coming out that time was called Apnea. And I said, I understand that, Vito's breaking into show business and he's got a movie coming out named Apnea. And I said, apparently you need to have apnea to get through this movie. That's a funny fucking joke. I'm sorry. Okay. And everybody, and he had the same,
really amused.
He had the same face, the same face that he had then and he has now. And other key people,
this motherfucker.
Other key people in the party are like this.
It is true though. That's what happened.
She looks exactly the way she does now. Noelle's like peeing herself laughing. Like, oh my God, that's a funny shit. That's a roast. A roast is supposed to be insulting but funny and in good fun. So I don't know why that just fucking came up, but I had to get that off my chest because I'm like, you motherfuckers.
You've been sitting on that for like 6 or 7 years now.
Yeah. When I fucking write comedy, motherfucker, laugh at it. That's it. All right.
The people here laughed. We thought it was funny. I thought
he did. No, he didn't think it was funny.
You thought Dan was funny.
I thought it was good.
Not the face. He was like this. He was like
taking it all in, like this motherfucker.
You ever see on American Dad when he roasts them and he's like, oh yeah, okay, and then he sends them to Saudi Arabia because he got pissed off. Right. That's the look I was getting the day of.
I think shit was fun. I thought it was going to be like the Dean Martin roast, and you ended up being the Don Rickles, but everybody else was like, "Oh, Vito, your head shines in such a manner that it's like the star on the east." Like it was ridiculous.
Yeah, right. You'd have thought a Messiah came in. David Koresh was walking in the fucking room,
literally
with punch. He's like, "Guys, I have drinks for everybody."
It was that. Like people were waiting to die. Like everybody was
you know what I mean? And I like the Vitites, as I used to call them.
Yeah, the
Vitites.
I did good. I didn't plan a speech because I knew everybody else had poems and everybody's coming to me going, I got this poem. Like everybody. And I'm like, oh my God. So I just said, guys, I've been with Vito a really, really long time and I thank you all for being here. And if you look over at the door, the minister's gonna come in and we're gonna get
yes.
Like he thought I was serious. It's like
you would have thought and understand that there was a lot of guys at this party.
Yeah.
And if you listen to these poems, every one of them was in love. It was like fucking Meryl fucking Steubing was in the room doing fucking match connections with fucking Chuck Willery. Yeah, like fucking Isaac was fucking delivering the drinks with the Mickey Coladas. And every guy there was like, they had hearts coming out of their eyes. And I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Like the Tom and Jerry with the heart.
Yeah.
Boom, boom,
I was
boom,
waiting for my dad to roast Vito, and I was all excited. Except my dad got loaded with Vito before the party even started.
Yeah.
I dragged my dad out, kicking and screaming, and my grandmother's going, "I guess we're leaving now." Like, My dad was loaded within the first 5 minutes of the party.
Oh my God.
He was
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
red glass of rum.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But that was funny.
That was probably one of the best parties.
My God, who the hell cares?
Yeah.
Oh, his text message.
Yeah.
Look how convenient that came in.
Who the hell cares? That was one of our good parties, but we've had some pretty good raging parties. So like,
Yeah, but we've had, like with Dan and Christine, we've gone out places and we've had some pretty good parties at
oh yeah,
Dean's
we've
house.
always had a good time with Dan. I think that was part of the thing that we wanted to do tonight. Christine and I talked about. We wanted to talk about us and our friendship, because people think like we have podcasts and we have different people come on and off, but like Neen came on the podcast and everybody was like, well, what does Neen do? She came on when we had the other podcast with the other ladies, and I wanted my friend Neen to come on. She was coming down to help me, and I wanted her on the show. And people were like, oh, who is Neen? She's really funny. What does she do? Is she a wrestler? Is she no, she's my friend Neen. Dan too. Dan and I have been friends like forever, and we've been like the couple that hung out together for like 10 years.
What was the biggest party we had at your house, guys? I can't remember. I remember there was.
Oh,
We've had some good ones.
No,
we had one. Everybody was here.
A lot of time. Yeah.
We were out
I
on
mean,
the
a lot
deck
of
and
times.
everything. It was like
I guess
Maria
the
was
one-
here and
the
Joy
one,
and
that's the
Kristen.
one that you have the picture on the Slambino site.
Oh,
reflecting like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that.
I missed that party.
You missed that one. Did she miss that one? You did miss that
Yeah,
one.
you weren't there.
You were probably
Nick was having a breakdown.
yeah.
And
Yeah, it's
but based on my DJ schedule, which 4 or 5 years ago was a lot heavier
Yeah.
than it is now. You guys remember? I mean, I was constantly,
oh yeah, you were always
Kids' birthday parties.
you know, everything. But I had a couple bars under my gig as well, and so we did a lot of stuff, you know, at the bars.
Yeah.
Hence that one picture with all the Sinatra fucking.
I call that the most Italian picture ever.
It is the most Italian picture ever. I mean,
You know, one of us-
Dante and Luigi's
You
for
know.
a real good Italian meal in South Philly.
when that lady talked about our boobs, that old
Yes.
we did that.
We did that, remember?
See what happens when you get old. I don't fucking remember that at all.
No.
Yes.
I remember Henry's,
Harry's. Oh, Harry's for her
Jeff's.
birthday.
Yeah, for my birthday, we
Yes.
went to Harry's.
I
That's
remember that one.
me now.
We went to
What's that?
Dante and Luigi's.
Yeah, we went to Dante and Luigi's.
I remember we went to Olive Garden.
Yeah, we did go to Olive
Dude,
Garden.
it's LoGrasso. That's why.
That was the
And
night.
the best part of that is that I guess it was the manager who came over, and like all her staff was like, hey, that's Big Vito from WWE, blah, blah, blah. And she had no fucking clue at all because she didn't watch wrestling.
Her husband was a fan.
Yeah, something like that. And she's like, and it was almost like she was like, apparently you're somebody. You know, it was like, you know, like, because she had no clue at all. She's like, I don't know who you are, you know?
They're asking what you're drinking, Vito.
Juice, carrot juice.
Lies, all lies.
Let me guess. Rum and Coke.
Yes, it's a rum and Coke.
We've moved up our selection to Captain Morgan's.
Ah, so no more of that cherry rum, huh?
Oh, that cherry rum's good though.
We used to tear that up.
We have some crazy liquor selections here in Florida. You wouldn't believe
Guys,
the
let me
shit.
tell you something. The Walmart here in Florida has the cheapest liquor selection you've ever seen in your life. For $100, you could make your own home bar.
I mean, we're talking Patron and good stuff for like nothing. Like
Wow.
they're giving it away. They're like, here, take some Patron with
Do
your
you know
groceries.
the bottles
Like,
of White Zinfandel, the big bottles of White Zinfandel?
Yeah.
Like you pay $12, $13, $11,
Uh-huh.
$7.
Shut up.
For the same bottle.
Holy shit.
Wow.
the same exact bottle. You can get huge bottles of
What, like the jugs you're talking about?
The big jugs with the little
jugs?
rings.
Yeah.
Yeah. the big
Jugs for $8, we'd be dead. Me and all the girls, we would be dead.
no, the
Well, the night of that party,
I have tons of alcohol in the fridge. I drink these little grapefruit gluten-free drinks because I don't do so good with the gluten with all the meds.
Yeah.
So I have these ruby red grapefruit. They're like bottles, and they're like 97 cents. And I have like 100 of them in the refrigerator. You throw them in a little Coke Zero. Please, me and the bitches at the pool be wrecked.
Well, at the party that we were just talking about, because being a diabetic, I can't have anything with sugar as far as drinks are concerned, because drinks like really overdo it. And so like I'm a rum and Coke guy. I usually do Bacardi and Diet or Crown and Diet, something like that. But then I figured out, because I really wanted a screwdriver.
Come here,
and I cannot have orange juice at all.
Here he comes.
Dude, what are you doing?
Here comes the beast.
So then what happened was I figured out that if I get Crystal Light Orange.
Crystal Light Orange?
Yes.
Yes.
Gunner, you get out of here. Move. Wait a second.
The podcast we do, it's not just my dog. It's somebody else's too.
We're interfering in his time, see?
Yeah, I was interfering in Bruiser's. He was very mad when I was doing the podcast. Even though I took him on an extra walk today so he wouldn't. He was pissed. So you do the Crystal Light. Vito does the Crystal Light too.
Yeah, I do Crystal Light Orange and VO, which has like no sugars and stuff like that. And I'll pour it in a big, back then when I was DJing, a lot of times it's hard for me to get to the bar. So I'll put it in one of those bicycle containers and just fill it up like half and half. Half VO, half the orange juice. And then I'm tanked while I'm DJing.
I was saying to Vito that there is the ultimate party situation that we were all out for New Year's because Dan had to DJ.
Yeah.
What was it, Della Pola's?
Yeah. Della Pola's, yeah.
So we all decided that we would go and join Dan at Della Pola's for his DJ. And there was a good bit of people there. They had a buffet, Italian food, whatever. And that's the Frank Sinatra place. Yeah. Now, this was probably our wildest night out because everybody did something that was considered wild and crazy on that evening that we probably normally wouldn't have done. Except Dan. I don't think Dan did anything crazy.
Because I was working.
Yeah.
But what I did do crazy was, and it's not crazy per se, but like I said, I had my aluminum container of cherry rum and Diet Coke. So this way I didn't have to go to the bar the whole time, because understanding that they were going to be busy. So I have an extremely high tolerance. So when I'm drinking stuff like that, I do not get drunk. I'm like the Flash.
You're married to Christine, so you have to have a high tolerance, Dan.
It used to be she smells it and be like, like this.
What's the matter?
I said it used to be you would smell it and be like, like this. But now I have a
pretty good tolerance now.
Hey, Dan, do you remember the time that we were in the house and we kept feeding her drinks and she was passed out on the couch?
I do not recall.
That's right.
I cannot confirm nor can I deny that I accepted any drinks from these two individuals.
Every time I would walk in and I wouldn't know what I was walking into. I would just be like, "Hi guys."
Yeah.
What you guys were all up to, crazy shit. I come up from work and be like, "What you guys doing?" We had these crazy times. The Della Pola's was my favorite New Year's because you and I went into the backseat of the car like a couple teenagers, and Neen did the mummer strut.
Shut up.
That's why I remember.
Yeah.
You know, and I stepped in the back of the Hummer like a couple of.
And you know what? We were talking about it today. Just recently, I shared a picture that me and Noelle had from, it was like 7 or 8 years ago. Something like that.
Remember that picture.
And she had no idea that picture existed. And to be honest with you, and I have a computer-like memory, I barely remembered that I took that picture. You know? And that's a Danny J selfie.
Where is that picture? I don't even know where that is.
But no, I don't either. It's somewhere. It's on my Facebook because that's where it came up at.
I couldn't figure out if it was here, if it was at their apartment. I mean, I couldn't even figure out where it was.
I was really looking at it, and I honestly believe that was here. I don't think it was at your apartment.
I thought it was the apartment in Reading when I looked at it.
Potentially.
Oh, yeah, but he wasn't really there.
No, I was there a couple times.
Yeah.
But you know what, too? from the night that you're talking about at Della Paula's, we also have a couple pictures that are not really good because the phones weren't good back then. They're really dark, but we have pictures where like horns and halos and
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yes.
If you remember them.
Yeah.
And,
He and I had these things that looked like championship belts.
Yes.
yeah, they were the paper hats that
Yes.
you guys unstapled.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
Looked
wore-
like belts.
We were.
They looked like the NWA titles. So we
They
wore
did.
The
They
Mama
did.
Bear Gumadas. That was
Yeah.
our name.
The Mama Bear Gumadas.
That's what we were called.
Don't you have any cherished memories of our beautiful friendship?
I'm talking about all the good times we had at their house and then all the parties we had together. You know, we always have good times and we always have good food.
Yes.
Good food.
That is always good.
Funny thing about that too, that party we were talking about. We're in the kitchen, and V's in there, and he's carving the turkey because we had a turkey. And he looks at me. He's carving turkey, he's keeping to himself. He's minding his business. He's carving it, and he looks over at me. He goes, "Don't tell anybody that I know how to do this." And he goes back to carving the turkey.
Yeah, you know, this asshole used to tell me he didn't know how to cook, cut meat, nothing. And then I got completely.
He goes literally like this. He goes like this. He's cutting it. And he goes, "Now see what you do." And like a chef, he's cutting it out. He goes, "You cut it this way, blah blah blah." And he's cutting. He's looking at the bird while he's doing it. And then he goes like he stops and he looks at me. He goes, "Don't tell anybody that I know how to do this."
Kind of a
And he goes right back to the bird. It
Even
was like that.
I want an apology, Vito. You lied to me for like 7 or 8 years. I'd like an apology for the lie.
Dan, you just boosted the ratings with that story.
That, and I also heard that the black book has perforated edges, so they're easy to rip out.
Oh boy.
Like this.
Let me tell you something. How to pick up chicks with Vito LoGrasso. Lie to them about cutting meat and cooking. That'll get you far.
It's
Oh my
funny
God.
because if you ever hear the song, I Fooled Around and Fell in Love,
Yeah.
right? If you listen to it, I always started laughing because it always brings up that black book story in the thing. I used to write them in the page, and he goes, when I got done with them, I just tore out that page. And I started cracking up laughing. I'm like, this is a classic black book.
Oh my God.
You don't black book anymore because you got me.
Yeah, okay.
Why did you lie, Vito?
What am I
For like
gonna lie?
half a decade.
Well, why?
For like half a decade.
After numbers, you ask if you get numbers, I'll take you out like this.
Why can't I get numbers?
Out of nowhere.
Rhyme and getting
No,
numbers.
yo, don't get numbers, number one. But I don't care about that right now because we got to talk about why you lied about cooking and cutting meat and all that shit for like half a decade.
Because-
And it sounds worse when she says half a decade.
Half.
Yeah, that's a half a decade. That's only 5 years.
That sounds really bad.
Well, I was just trying to impress Dan.
Half.
all.
Oh, no,
I'm just trying to impress Dan.
Peter, make a pancake. Dan did not care.
No, Dan knows how to eat a pancake. He's just interested in me cutting meat.
I know how to eat. Totally know how to eat.
Dan just
If we're going to do reminiscing, what a lot of people, and this came up on my wrestling show too, a lot of people are like, why is, and my wrestling name back then was Way Cool Jr., much like the song from Rat.
Yes.
And it was funny. It came up on the show. They're like, why is this Way Cool Jr., who was barely anything in wrestling, like when he wrestled, like, why is he in everything? Like, why does he know everybody? Why is like this guy who wrestled for like 3-4 years, like in every single glitch that there is and stuff like that? And I'm like, you don't understand. I've been producing wrestling since the 90s. And one of my shows in the beginning was the Junkyard Dog Memorial Card. And that was in Long Island. And that was the first time I met Vito. Was up in Long Island. He wrestled. Who the fuck did you wrestle?
Lucifer, I think it was.
Somebody else bald, I think.
Somebody else bald.
Yeah, because you know why? Because the reason I say that is because Johnny Rods was doing commentary on that particular match, and he kind of was like a dick. Like as a wrestling fan, I was like, dude, this is kind of a dick thing. But he was like, we got one guy's going bald and another guy's going bald, so we'll go going bald 1 and going bald 2. This is on the commentary of that card, right? And I'm like, and I didn't know, like you trained under Johnny, did you not? Did you not? Yeah. So obviously he knows who the fuck you are. But that was a great card too, by the way, because we had a shit ton of people on there. People like Nikolai Volkov, rest in peace. We had Axis the Demolisher on there. Tito Santana, who always makes it a tribute shows, and amongst other guys, and a lot of guys from Long Island. Obviously a lot of local talent, and Skull Von Crush was one of the guys on there. So.
We had that match on the Big Vito brand. If you guys look it up, Vito does commentary over that match.
Check it out.
Yeah.
And what I'm talking about, if it's that from the Junkyard Dog Memorial,
yeah,
the faraway cam is me.
Okay.
Just so everybody knows. I didn't do ringside at that event. I was in first level doing the faraway shots of the ring, like the entrances and stuff like that. So there's only 2 cameramen there, me and the other guy. I'm the faraway guy. Just so you know.
We have it on. It's called. What is the name of that show called? I can't remember, but it's on the Big Vito brand. If you look under Vito stuff, that match is on there, so you can see Danny's camera work, Vito wrestling, and he does commentaries.
Yeah.
One thing you have to say about wrestling today and wrestling back then. Now you're going back a long. Probably going back in the 90s. What 90s?
Yeah. And even 90s though, when you think about it, was such a different era for wrestling. I would go as far as 1990 is when things. Yeah, there you go. Sit back. This is going to be good. 1990, I would say, is when things really, really changed. Being someone that used to watch Crockett, religiously, and preferred it over the stuff in Connecticut, I'm watching Southern wrestling half-ass go away with the entrances of Tom Zinks, Brian Pillman's, seeing Stunning Steve come up from Texas, which was great, but like I'm seeing more drama and less wrestling happen. And that was a culture shock.
I mean, it's just a different brand now and a different way of doing things, and the way we used to do things. Like you remember that match, Junkyard Dog, Memorial, and that's a pretty famous wrestling show. Might not be the greatest show, but it's a famous wrestling show because everybody got together and everybody was there, and whoever was up and coming who made it years later, and whoever was was a name and kept wrestling. It's just not the same no more. And
it really isn't. And you know what? When you talk about like everybody that was up and coming, if I go back to my time, I was taping guys like you. I was taping people like Lita before she was Lita. She was Angelica back in the day. I'm talking pre-ECW. I was taping her in New York, like in New Rochelle, New York, and stuff like that. Guys like Nova.
Yep.
I taped him when he was with Dino Sana in fucking Downingtown, PA. Some people don't remember that.
How about a Gene Snitsky who was wrestling in the 90s before and he wasn't even in ECW.
Yeah.
I wrestled him on a Tommy Jeanette show. Yeah. And he just finished football. He was training, I think, with AJ Petrucci. Came to Johnny Rogers show, and they said Cousin Luke was on the show, and Johnny and Nikolai, and they said Vito and Tom Brandy was on the show.
Yeah.
Said Vito, the guy doesn't want to put you over. I said, really? I said, okay. I says, no problem.
Was it Gene Sinitsky?
Gene Sinitsky. That's the
Your
first
friend,
time.
Gene Sinitsky?
My buddy Gene. First time I met him. So they said, okay. I was in a mask. I was in a friggin' sweatsuit. I was 90 degrees out. 20 minutes. They said, Vito, we need 20 minutes. I said, no problem. First time he hit me with a shoulder tackle, I didn't budge. Second time he hit me, I didn't move. Neen is a big man.
Yeah.
We went 19 minutes and 59 seconds before he pinned me. When he pinned me, I got up. I was jumping around, dancing, and doing everything possible. And everybody was laughing in the back. I blew him up, right?
Right.
And it comes to the back, and he just looks at me and he goes, "Man, you really kicked my ass out there." I says, "No, this is just a wrestling lesson." And everybody in the dressing room, all the veterans said, "Way to go, way to teach him a lesson."
Yeah.
Who do I see coming at me in ECW a couple years later? It was Gene. But he didn't come alone. He had his other 6'6" partner, and I was just looking up, I'm tying my boots and said, "Oh shit, I'm gonna wind up in a fight."
But now you're friends and you torture him on Eagle Sundays.
Well, you know what? Like I did, cousin Luke, you mentioned, he had a wrestling school.
Yep.
And a lot of times when we were producing shows, we would produce their graduation shows. And we did one for cousin Luke, and he had Manny Fernandez as the star for the show. Another guy that I think really did not get his just desserts when he was working, because I think he was great. So at the, I have to produce the promos as well as, the actual wrestling. So I go over to Manny and I say, "Hey Manny, how you doing? Can you do a promo real quick for the VHS?" It was VHS back then, guys. And we didn't have DVD. And he goes, yeah. I said, "Well, can you say something like, 'Hey, this is Manny Fernandez and you're watching blah, 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 blah.'" He goes, "How about I say what I want to say?" And I go, "Okay, but just make sure you mention this." Right? So I interjected in. I'm like, "Don't fucking superstar me, because I got to get this fucking job done. I got 3 other promos I got to fucking shoot." But, it's funny how you see the business, because then about maybe 1 or 2 years later, I did Break the Barrier. Do you remember that show? That was in ECW Arena. And that's where 10 indie feds got together, and it was a championship match across the board. We had Luthez did a guest appearance there. We had Shane Douglas did a shoot interview there. And it was just a lot of fun. Manny was there, and Tom Brandy, and amongst others. But it's when we say that wrestling is like a brotherhood, it really, really is. And, some people forget that. But,
He was a Stinger fan.
What?
Yeah.
He was a Stinger fan.
Always.
Neen,
Don't make fun of me. What?
I love you.
I love you too.
Neen and I are going to have a breakout show someday.
Yeah.
Freaking out.
Yeah,
Jazz hands. Freaking out. Jazz hands.
Wasn't that a song? Breakout.
It was a song.
don't stop.
Oh God, here we go.
I'm going to do a podcast once a month. Vito, so help me God, every time I speak, I get to see your puppies. Put your dogs down. I'm trying to talk.
Just elbow him right in the gut.
Vito, hug me, Vito.
There you go.
Hug me.
Ow, he's squeezing my rib cage. Listen, Neen, I'm going to do a show once a month from the Magic Kingdom. I'm going to call it the Princess Podcast. Would you like to be on it with me? You're a Disney person.
Sure. I'll do it with you.
You and I, once a month, are going to set aside some time, and we're going to do a live podcast from the Magic Kingdom without Gaston. And with Gaston, who knows?
Oh.
He's the only person I know that gets jealous when I kiss Mickey Mouse on the nose.
Oh God. So
I don't
wait.
be there.
So wait, Saturday we're gonna try and go to the Bates Motel thing
Please,
over here.
video.
I'm gonna try and video some of it, because it's gonna be us and Bella and our friend and her daughter and hopefully some other people.
But
But
it should be fun.
I'm gonna try and record me and Bella.
It should be fun.
And I will put it on the channel for you.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm so excited.
And I still like.
Oh, and then there's bingo with Aunt Mary Pat.
Oh
Next
yeah,
week.
we got to get a video. We love Aunt Mary Pat. She is Delco's finest.
Hey, Christine, I want to know how's your mom doing these days? Sexy bitch.
My mom is just fine.
Okay.
Yeah, she's on the
To book a future episode of Thug Wives with Big Ange.
I know. We got to get.
It would be
Gotta
kind of cool if
gotta.
you got your mom on,
That would never happen.
Yeah, Joyce
and then
ain't
she
gonna
gets her
do it.
mom on.
Big
We
Joyce will never come on.
But Tina on, cousin Tina, yeah.
Oh, please.
Good luck.
What?
Good luck with
Hey,
that.
good luck getting cousin Tina.
Family members. I mean, what is he all up in your family tree? Like,
Always.
Just
Always.
in a dog cage.
That would be funny if, like, we set a camera up on the dog cage, and like it'd be like you guys talking, and then someone
There
makes
is no
then
more
someone
dog cage.
and then someone makes a noise, right? And you just see the dog cage.
Poor Buddy got
No,
rest his
the
soul
silence
is
in the
gone.
dog cage.
Stop.
You know?
yeah, Buddy's gone.
Yeah.
And the only one left is the little jerk off.
I got news for you. He's
Circle.
not gone. He's hiding.
Yeah.
He saw what
Not
happened.
funny. Not
saw-
funny
he
because
saw what
I was
happened.
with him. It's not
He
funny.
saw what happened.
It's not funny. I was with him. So
Oh,
we're not going to make jokes.
He's like,
about that.
no.
Too, when Melissa did the thing in the dog cage?
What happened?
Did you say you were with Melissa and the dog?
No. He was talking about Buddy, and he said Buddy's hiding, and I said that's not funny because I was there with Buddy.
Oh, when he passed.
I took Buddy, so it's not funny.
Poor Buddy. He was a beautiful dog.
Hi,
He
Jay.
was a beautiful dog.
He is a good boy too.
How are you? Thank you for joining us here
Hi, Tom. Hi,
on,
Doc.
on the Big Vito brand.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
dog cage.
Why are we talking about the dog cage?
Because friggin'
He came up. They're gonna have the dog cage show, and it'll just be like a video
Stop
of the
it.
dog cage.
And
No sound. No sound. Just a video of a dog cage.
Vito will be watching like this. What are you doing, Vito? I'm looking over at Big Andrew's house, dog cage.
With with animated bubbles of the dog cage talking.
Um,
Stop it.
to be into it. Especially
How
with,
awesome would that be?
hey, how was Sexy Angie's birthday? Did it turn out good?
It was fine. It was just she.
Oh yeah.
I think Melissa took her to Hibachi on Friday for her birthday. You know, Friday after her birthday. And she was very disappointed in her hibachi experience, so she's ready to yell at everybody.
Yeah, she's
She
disappointed
was like,
in everything.
no. She
in
said,
life.
she said, it was so busy in there. They gave us the busboy to cook. She said, and he didn't do nothing. You know how like they throw the food at you and they do little things on a table? She said, he didn't do nothing.
I showed him
She
my
said-
picture. He didn't even react.
She said the whole point. Shut up. She said the whole point of going there is the experience, and he took the experience away from me. I'm gonna fucking call them
I
up.
hate everybody.
Neen, tell Big Ange that I want to have her on the show to complain about her hibachi experience. I want to complain about some things, and I think I need her to come on and complain too.
Oh yes, she will. She will.
If you have the
Gladly.
complaint show, she'll run that shit.
Leave her alone.
I'll put her
Complain.
on a show and make it the complaint.
Complain. And she's young.
I love Big Ange.
62. Your mother, 62.
Why are you giving away my mother's age?
I don't know. What the fuck? Nobody's fucking looking her up. She don't have a Wikipedia.
I'm just fucking looking her up.
This fucking
They're
guy.
seeing the pictures. They're like, man, she looks good for 62. Yeah, because that was 1978, motherfucker. That's why.
Well, Dan and Vito had hit it. We've established that in
That's just gross.
She showed me pictures, but those pictures were when she was in her 20s. And I was like, oh, ha, ha. Hello.
Big Age was a sexy bitch.
She did. She had
I have
nice
a
legs.
picture- I have a picture of her on my Facebook when she was like 18, sitting in a leather chair with her legs crossed with the short shorts on,
Yeah, she looked good.
smoking a cigarette. Oh, yeah.
I mean, she looked like a pain in the ass back then, too.
Huh?
You can put that on Twitter.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe
she
I
looked
will.
like a pain in the ass back then, too. You could tell.
Well, she didn't take no shit then. And
You
she
know,
don't
when
take no shit
as a
now.
guy, when you look at a girl and be like, you know what, that's so hot, but you know what? I can tell. I'd have to fucking kill it afterwards now.
That's like you and that girl that said, try the pussy, try it.
Oh, my God.
I probably should have said that. I'm sorry. I should have said that.
Hold on, you know, bitches all telling me try the pussy, try the pussy. What the-
Yeah.
I like when you say that girl said, try the pussy.
Yes,
Try
you did
it. And
tell
you
me
were
that.
like, no.
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 That's
Is it frozen? Like what? What?
no, she just, the way she said it. Oh, is Vito still getting the tools? See, the tools are a big thing.
Yeah, for that pussy it was. I was getting
Oh.
some tools. I knocked that bitch out.
And try the pussy. And you were like, no. No, thank you.
That was probably one of the few times, in all seriousness, right?
That you declined it?
No.
Look what I did there.
Boom. See, that's 23 years with me right there.
Okay.
That's 10 years of friendship right there.
It was during a hard time where I was actually homeless.
It's always hard.
I was homeless. I was sleeping in my truck. I was sleeping with women so I could buy a hotel room for the night. So I had a place.
Oh, he's such a crumb. He's such a crumb.
It's such a sad story, right? Like there's violins playing. One time I was DJing, right? And I was DJing at this place that was, let's put it this way, it wasn't Applebee's. Okay, so like it was a little less than what you expect. And this girl comes up to me, and in this area, everybody had muffin top. Just to give you a heads up, because the pants were a size 3 and the girl was a size 15. You know what I mean?
Was it in Delco?
Oh, Delco is the most
Delco.
disgusting.
It's Delco.
Fucking
It was
place.
Delco.
I knew it was Delco.
History of the
Outskirts of
world.
Delco, but Delco. And the girl comes up to me and she says, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "Hey, how you doing?" You know, and I gotta be approachable and stuff like that. And as a DJ, and the girl goes up to me. She goes, "Do you have this song? Do you have that song?" I said, Let me look. Boom, boom. And I'm looking in my computer, and on my peripheral, I can see her. She steps back and she's doing one of these, like she's doing like this. But so I'm not really paying attention. I'm thinking maybe she's motioning to somebody else or
She's
whatever.
checking you out.
She's checking me out. She goes, I said, "Okay, here we go." She goes, "Hey, do you want to just go in the bathroom?" Right? I look at her and I look her dead in the face. And I'm like, "Well, management frowns upon me taking any of the patrons in the bathroom, but I can have your song on in 5 minutes." And she goes, "Okay." And then she walks away, and I'm thinking to myself, if you offered me to your car, I would have been more likely to say yes than this fucking bathroom, because it just
Oh yeah, you would have put the tape on, Dan.
like Jesus Christ, you know what I mean?
He would be more likely to say yes to the dirty Delco hoe with the muffin top. You know what?
If she had a nice car.
That's the kind of woman that fucks you and then does a line off your dick. Like, you don't need that.
Yeah.
That's the kind of
No.
I mean, that's kind of like that's kind of a cool scenario. I'd videotape that if she's doing
Dan, you should go back and do it. Relive that, Joe.
You know? But then I get a call. Oh shit! Hold on. I just yanked this out here.
Come on.
Shut up.
You're talking so much.
Can you hear me?
We got to wrap it up soon.
Shut up. This is quality ratings. So what happened was
I didn't pull nothing out of nowhere.
Why don't we use one line with the Neen.com?
What?
hold on a second.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me? Talk.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
You said Neen online, Neen.com.
Neen.com.
Yeah.
Neen.com.
Neen.com. Hi.
This one time I'm DJing, I'm playing a song, and the bartender calls me over and she says, "Dan, you have a phone call." And I said, "A phone call?" Like on the house line of the bar, right? And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know the phone number, so it couldn't be my wife.
Right.
Like, I don't know who's calling me right at the bar.
No.
So I get on the phone. I'm like, "Yeah, hi, this is Dan." And it's this girl, right? And not the same girl. This is a different girl. And she says, "Hi, it's so-and-so." And I think I met the girl like the week before or something like that. You know, she was talking to me. She requested a couple Prince songs, blah, 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 right? And I'm like, "Oh, hi, how you doing?" And I'm like, and she goes, "So do you want to fuck or what?" Right?
You didn't tell me about this.
Well, this is right?
Exposed.
This is why he doesn't tell me things, because I get nuts, because I'll be looking for it.
Because the funny thing is, and the bartender started laughing afterwards, like, this girl's on the phone, right? So she's not there. So I have the phone like this, and she goes, "So do you want to fuck or what?" I'm like, "Well, I still have to DJ for another couple of hours, right?" I'm looking at my watch, like she can see this, right?
Oh
and she goes, "It's a simple fucking question. I don't need the bullshit," and hangs up on me, right?
Yes.
And I was like, man, I felt like a hoe. Like, damn.
That's how Vito feels. Try the pussy.
That's what she was like. I was like, holy shit. I said, and I gave the phone back to the bartender. She goes, "What was that?" I said, "She wanted to fuck," but I said, I still have to DJ for a couple more hours, and then she hung up on me.
Jeez.
So I said, "I was a booty call."
Booty call.
Dan, we need to get out the equipment and we need to start getting the business back up, dog.
It's all in the cart.
Dan,
Oh,
why
there you
don't you ever come and DJ in Florida?
I need someone to fly me down. I need someone to pay me, and I need the time off from my 6 jobs because I'm a Jamaican.
Wait for your wife.
What?
Down. I need somebody to go to Disney World with.
Dan, imagine you and I friggin' DJing here in friggin' Florida.
Vito,
If I was making cash, right, where I could leave on a Friday night, come down to DJ on a Saturday, and then come back on Sunday night, I would fucking do it every week if the money was good.
Every week. He's
Every week I'd be in Florida.
While I'm here with his kids.
Yeah,
Just bring it up. And what did she say? Just keep bringing the money home. You do whatever you want, honey. You keep bringing the money home. That's what she says, word for word.
Dan, our days could be we get up in the morning, go to the gym, get our pump on, go to the pool, get our tan on, right? Come back, go to
He's
friggin'
got it all figured out.
Right?
up. You know what I'm saying? Get ready for the clubs. You know, and then all of a sudden we're kicking it at the club that night. Go home, you know, but before we go home, we have a little soiree at the pool because I got the key and have a little pool party. Then maybe we decide if we're gonna go.
I would stack away all my money, and then I would buy a strip joint, and I would call it the House of J.
The House of J.
And it would be a neon sign of me like this. Like this.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about, Dan. So I'm talking.
That's what I would do. Look at her
Now,
face.
we've our retirement home has already been picked out. You're not
You
going anywhere.
already get kicked to the curb, girl. Get out of the way. Dan,
Did I-
Dan,
You be DJing in that fun little place that Kenzie picked out for us.
Yeah.
Put you in the middle of the retirement
Yeah,
home.
I already showed you who my new wife would be. I sent you that picture.
get off me. I'm going to pick your retirement home. You're a lot older than me.
No, our friend's kid. She picked our retirement home.
overseas, baby. Go ahead.
She said, "This is where I'm putting the 4 of you," and she sent us a picture.
Right? And then I said, if you think I'm going to be fucking locked away in my old age with you fucking people, I said, let me tell you something. By that time, here's my new wife. And I sent her a picture. It was a monkey that had makeup on. I said, this is my new wife. It's who's going to be taking care of me.
I hear Bella. No, that was Ava.
Nick G called me the other day and said, Mom, I would never put you in a retirement home. I don't know what possessed him to say this, but he goes, I'd never put you in a retirement home, but I'm sending Vito to the one that they show on 60 Minutes. And then
Well, that's not good. You don't want to go to a retirement home that's on 60 Minutes.
no, I don't know why you said it. I just I think he was just joking. He loves his Vito.
that's all right. Don't worry about
Stop. Loves
You got to see this place though that she picked out. It's like
Send it to me.
it's like a retirement village. It looks like it's in an old like mall or something, and like it's got fake trees and it's got streets and benches.
It's got fake trees, so God forbid we get oxygen, right?
She's like, wait, maybe it's not fake trees. It might be real trees. And she said to me, she said she inboxed the 4 of us on Facebook and said, this is where you guys are going. And I'm like, I'm not living there. You can't make me go.
And let me tell you something.
And it's in fucking Ohio. Like, why?
She calls me a cantankerous old man.
You are.
Let me tell you something. And I got friends, and I'm friends with a lot of people. And Noelle will tell you, I'm probably one of the most genuine, nice people
Oh, yeah.
that you will meet.
Yeah.
But I will also tell you, bitch, I can't fucking deal with you to live with you. And I told Kenzie, I said, Kenzie, thank you for thinking of it, but fucking absolutely not. I would never live with your mother. I would never live with your father.
Oh, who are you kidding?
No,
You and him.
never would. Funny story about him.
Oh, God, stop. Don't tell the fucking...
Yeah, funny story
No,
about him.
don't tell that.
Yeah, we only have 2 hours. Go ahead, tell a story.
Yeah, my buddy who we're talking about, we used to hang out. And
No
stuff like
names.
that. And,
No names.
One night I slept over because I didn't feel like going home. Like I went after work, and he stayed in his basement like a fucking like a secret.
Leave him alone.
And he was down there in the basement, so we slept down there. He had a mattress on the floor.
That's because he could smoke the weed down there
And
shit.
And what happened was I was working at a place where I was dressed up in a suit, like a shirt and tie and stuff like that. So when I went to bed, I got down to my underwear to go to bed, right? Well, because I had to go to bed. I'm not sleeping in a fucking suit. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So
Naked no matter who's in the room.
I don't do
so, and he's the same way. He doesn't wear a suit. This other guy, he wears like jeans and t-shirts, and I don't even know what the fuck he did for a living, if he did anything. But at the time, but he would in his underwear, and I was in my underwear, and we slept in this big queen size bed that he had down in the basement, right? So the next morning we wake up, and I like to sleep in fetal position a lot, right? So we wake up, and he puts the TV on, and he sits up kind of like this, right? He's got no shirt on, blankets up to his waist, right? And he lights a cigarette. I'm to his right, and I'm in fetal position like this, and we're watching the TV, right? He had put on Good Morning America, and Neil Diamond was on, right?
Oh my God.
So, and he's singing like fucking I Am, I Said, and all these other fucking songs, right? And my buddy's over here like, he's like sitting there smoking, we're watching, and I'm sitting here in the fetal position. I'm like, he's really a good entertainer. He goes, oh, yeah, totally. He's really good, you know. And that was like our my gay moment of my life.
Yeah.
That I was like this shameful bitch that, you know, if I stepped out of line, I'd get a backhand or something like that. Because I was like this.
Burn you with the cigarette, you know, like when you're laying there. And if you
Like he's up there like this,
amazing.
no shirt, and he lights a cigarette, and I'm like, cuddle me, you know, like what the fuck?
Yeah, if you would have said, man, that Neil Diamond is amazing, and you would have been like, not really a fan, he'd have just burned you with the cigarette.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be like, now take that change on the counter and get the fuck out. It was pretty much what it was like.
Give you the Sinatra, the 20s on the dresser, baby.
Yeah, you know. So my friends like to fuck with me a lot, but I'm like, you know, just keep in mind, I'll fucking kill you if I have to.
We have some pretty good friends. Watch
We
it.
do.
We do.
Yeah, we enjoyed this episode of Thug Wives. We are coming to a close. We gave you guys
Yes.
after because we were rattling and ranting.
Yes.
But we definitely had a good time talking about the friendship between the LoGrassos and the Danny J's.
And the Danny
J's.
And the line of the night by Danny J. Don't tell anybody I know.
Don't tell anybody I know how to do this. Don't tell anybody I know how to do this.
All right, guys, I want to make it quick, so give me quick plugs, and I will plug everything when I load this up onto Facebook.
Okay.
You're short.
So
Shut up. I am short, but I don't need all the rigmarole. Rigmarole. I am South Philly Neen, and that's all you need to know. And that's how you can find me everywhere.
DJBProductions.com, ThatWayCoolWrestlingShow.com. The channel is blowing up. That Way Cool Wrestling Show Season 4, booming. We got live shows on YouTube. You want to check that out. DJs After Dark. I'm going into the studio. I'll be recording on Saturday morning. That's another big blow-up show. And starting in November, awesome, Capes Not Included, comic book superhero geek show starring myself, LeGrand Jackson, and Bob Taylor, with a little pre-production by Noel and myself. So that's something to check out. Go on the YouTube channel and subscribe. I'm trying to get the subscriptions up. So everybody out there in Big Vito land, if you can go on and subscribe to the channel, you're going to have a lot of fun stuff to watch.
Big Vito, your brand, you're up.
Well, check us out at Guns with Big V. I'm telling you, Guns with Big V. That's going to be good. All right.
Guns and ammo.
Missiles.
Guns and ammo.
Yeah, baby.
All right, just catch us at BigVito.com. We are our latest Lambinos.com. You know, thank you for participating in supporting the church, the movie. Everything went great. Things are going good here. I appreciate everybody who puts in for the brand. Thank you very much for helping out and being a part of the brand. And I'm going to let the wife close it out because we got some stuff happening And
we got stuff happening, guys. Tomorrow night, Thursday at 7 p.m. We're gonna have here with us live Diamond Dallas Page. DDP will be with us live. Me and Vito, we're gonna have a nice little chat with him. We're gonna talk about DDP Yoga, WCW, and the stuff he's got going on. We also have HarlowInc.com. HarlowInc.com, CertifiedNickG.com, SlamBinos.com, BigVito.com. You can catch us on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, well, literally wherever you get your podcast. Tuesday nights, catch us on Facebook, on our Facebook watch page. That is Facebook.com/The Big Vito Brand. We'll be there on there at 9 o'clock. We'll be bringing fans on, so make sure you like the page, follow the page. You'll get the notification we're going live, and you can be live with us. And also check out our merch.
5,000 views.
We got
That was great. That's awesome.
So we have 5,000 people playing with us last night. Come back and play with us again on Tuesday. And I think that's it. That wraps it up for us tonight. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Neen and Danny J, for joining us tonight. Thank you, everybody in the chat. And as always, we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
See you.